Selachimorpha is the first legendary Aquabreather that came with Visions of Eternity, and in this guide I will walk you through every single step needed to craft it, and I will show you exactly what you need to farm, where to get it, and how much it will cost. Before we start, when you craft Selachimorpha, you unlock all 3 armor weights at the same time. So you will get the light, medium, and heavy legendary Aquabreather from a single craft, and this makes it incredibly value efficient compared to other legendary armor pieces. When equipped underwater, it transforms your character with bright blue fins coming out from your limbs, and you will see a school of small fish swim around you as you move through the water. On land, you can transmute Selachimorpha to your regular helmet, but the fins and the fish effects will not show up above water. Let's start with what you absolutely need before you can craft. First, you must complete Chapter 8, Path of Divinity from the Visions of Eternity story. You will also need to do map completion for both maps, Shipwreck Strand and Starlit Weald, and you need to finish the Shipwreck Strand Mastery and the Starlit Weald Mastery achievements. For both of them, you will need to finish at least 36 objectives to earn the last reward, which are components we will need for crafting later. Currency-wise, expect to spend at least 500 gold and 600,000 karma for some vendor items, and you will also need 500 Aether-rich sap, 500 antiquated ducat, and 500 unusual coins. As for the materials, you will need 500 chromatic sap and 500 raw enchanting stones from the new maps, plus the standard legendary crafting components like tier 6 materials, obsidian shards, and mystic clovers. So now let's get started. Selachimorpha requires 4 main components combined in the Mystic Forge: the Precursor Agaleus, Gift of Survivors, Gift of the People, and Gift of Castoran Mastery. Each one of those has its own requirements, so I will break them down for you one by one. As we go, if you accidentally deleted any of the components I will mention, or don't have the crafting disciplines needed, there are fixes and I will cover them at the end. Agaleus is entirely achievement based, which means you can't buy it and instead you must complete the Acquiring Agaleus achievement, which has multiple steps. It may seem like a lot, but they are pretty straightforward and don't require that much time. So here is how to finish it step by step. First, talk to an NPC called Captain Ruymond Lakes and you will find him right beside the Pub Connect waypoint. After the initial dialogue, he will ask you to make him a drink. Go to the mixology station and interact with the recipe book and choose any drink from here. For me, I chose the first option. The whiskey is right behind you, and the other 3 components are close to each other besides the pub. After you do your drink, give it to the captain for the next step. And after that, just talk to him one more time and finish the dialogue. And then you need to talk to Dive Master Astora in Lion's Arch. You will find the NPC right here, which is very close to the Sanctum Harbor waypoint. Just talk to the NPC and choose the third option, and this will finish the next step. After that, you need to keep talking to the NPC and finish the dialogue. However, you must have finished the Master Diver achievement. If you haven't yet, it's a very easy achievement that will take you probably 10 minutes to finish. Link for a detailed guide on this subject can be found in the description. When you are done with that achievement, go back to talk to Dive Master Astora again for the next step. After that, you need to finish the Shark Maw Cavern jumping puzzle, which is also in Lion's Arch. At the end, you need to interact with the chest to get your loot, which will include a Tattered note that will unlock the next few steps. Link for a detailed guide on the jumping puzzle can also be found in the description. Now we need to collect the pieces of the mask from multiple chests. You can finish these steps in any order, but I will show you how I did it. Keep in mind, each one of the pieces will have a small achievement icon that will show up in-game and in your map once you are close enough. So it will be very easy for you to see once you get there. We will start with all the mask pieces in Corteria maps. In Lion's Arch, besides the Vista, you will find the chest in that area, and the closest waypoint is the Claw Island. You will need to go deep underwater to interact with the chest. In Southsun Cove, go to the Pearl Isle waypoint and you will find the chest in that area. Go deep underwater and you will see the chest. Then we go to the Cursed Shore map and use the Shipwreck waypoint, and the chest will be very close to here. You will find it inside a broken sunken ship and there will be a lot of mobs. They're easy to kill, but you can also just loot the chest and skip them. After that, we go to the Gendarran Fields map and use this waypoint, then go here. You will find a piece of paper inside a tent, and this will give you a clue to the next mask piece. This will take us to the Vigil Keep waypoint, and right beside the portal, you will see a hidden cave within the cliffs. You will also find a dead animal corpse marking the entrance. Just fight a couple of easy mobs and the chest will be at the end. For the next piece, you will need to kill the world boss Admiral Taidha Covington. This is easy to do, but it only happens at certain times. So I will leave a link in the description for the world boss timers from the wiki. Once you kill the boss, open the big chest and you will find a mask piece in it. If you have the auto loot mastery, you will get it once you kill the boss. Next, you will need to finish one of two fractals, Siren's Reef or Aquatic runes. When you kill the last boss, go underwater and you will see sunken chests and one of them will have the mask piece. You can do these fractals at any level, including tier 1 to make it easy for yourself. Now we are done with Court area and we need to go to Shipwreck Strand to find the missing pieces. The first one can be found as a random drop in any of the Aetherlocation chests. For that, you will need to unlock the new skimmer and the Castoran intuition mastery. You will find a link for a detailed guide on the new skimmer and its masteries in the description. Once you have the mastery, just get on your skimmer and activate your F2 skill. After that, just keep moving around water areas until you find the hidden chests and the mask piece will be in one of them. I found this part of the map to be the easiest to find Aether chests, and you should find it only after you open few of them. If it took you long, try to relog and open the chests on a different character. Next, we will need to do the Booter's Pass jumping puzzle, and you will find the mask piece in the chest at the end. Keep in mind, if you already finished the jumping puzzle in the same day before you started the Precursor collection, you may not get the mask piece from the end chest, and in that case you need to do it again after the daily reset. Link for a detailed guide on this jumping puzzle can also be found in the description. For the next piece, we will go to the Twisting Hollows, then go southwest towards this area and keep going all the way to here. When you get close, the icon will show up and you will see exactly where it is. The chest will be deep underwater, and when you open, it will tell you the piece has been stolen by one of the freebooters in the area. So now all you need to do is just kill some freebooters until one of them drops the mask piece. You can easily find many of them around this location and they will respawn very quickly. If you didn't get it after 10-15 kills, try relogging, then come back and it should help. Once you are done with this, now you will have all the mask pieces. The next step is to go back to the captain in the pub Connacht and talk to him. After that, you need to talk to Cecil, which is right beside him. Next, you will need to talk to a castaway NPC, which can be found up on the cliffs in this area. And this is northwest of the Dark Leviathan Waypoint. After the dialogue, you need to find a spirit shark in Frostgorge Sound. You will find him swimming around this area, which is very close to the owner of the waves Waypoint. The spirit will be always moving, but once you interact with it, you can stop to finish the dialogue. The next step is to finish any explorable pass from the owner of the waves dungeon. However, you must have done the story for it before you can open any explorable pass. If you haven't yet, then try to find a guildie or a friend that can open it for you. You can also just go make an LFG in the dungeon section, or you can ask for help in map chat. This dungeon can be done solo if you have a well-balanced open world build, but of course it will be much faster if you have other players with you. Check the description for some of my open world guides if you want to solo it. After that, go back and talk to the shark spirit again to be done with the next step. The last thing you need to do now is talk to the same castaway NPC here, and that will finish the collection and it will give you a box. When you open it, it will give you a choice between light or medium or heavy. Once you choose any of them, it will unlock the skins for the other weights as well. It doesn't matter which one you will choose because all of them will work just fine to craft the legendary at the end. And remember that the legendary will give you all 3 weights anyways. However, I would highly recommend not to transmute the Precursor into a different skin because that can potentially cause some issues when using it in the Mystic Forge. The next component we will work on is the Gift of Survivors, which focuses on materials from the map Shipwreck Strand, and you will need 4 things for this. The first one is a concentrated chromatic sap. You can buy it from the heart vendor near the Glimmering Arches, and you will find them right here. The cost is 500 chromatic sap, 250 gold, and 300,000 karma. The best way to farm chromatic sap is by doing the Magic Mirror farm in Shipwreck Strand. Link to a detailed guide to get 600 chromatic sap in 3 days can be found in the description. Second, you need the Gift of Shipwreck Strand Exploration, which is the reward you will get from the map completion for Shipwreck Strand. Third is a Survivor's Enchanted Compass, which is the item you will get by completing the Shipwreck Strand Mastery Achievement. Finally, you will need 500 Aether-rich sap, which is one of the currencies in your wallet. You get it by doing events around the map and by consuming chromatic sap. More info about this currency is also in the detailed chromatic sap guide I just mentioned. Once you have all of these 4 components, go to the heart vendor near the Hull Garden Waypoint and buy the Gift of Survivors from here. And you can buy it without finishing the heart first. The next component we will work on is Gift of the People. This is very similar to how we got the Gift of Survivors, but it will focus on materials materials from Starlit Weald. First, from the Heart vendor near the Hunter's Camp Waypoint, you can buy the Patron of Magical Arts. This will cost 500 raw enchanting stones, 250 gold, and 300,000 karma. The best way to get the raw enchanting stones is also by doing the Magic Mirror farm in Starlit Weald. Link to a detailed guide on how you can get 600 raw enchanting stones in 3 days can also be found in the description. You need the gift of Starlit Weald exploration, and this is the reward you will get by doing the map completion for Starlit Weald. Third, we will need this item, which you will get by finishing the Starlit Weald Mastery achievement. And fourth, you will need 500 antiquated ducat, which is also another one of the currencies in your wallet. You get it by doing events around the map or by consuming raw enchanting stones. This is also covered in more details in the same guide about the raw enchanting stones. Once you have all of these 4 components ready, speak to the Heart vendor right beside the Popconnect waypoint and you can buy the Gift of the People from there. Now we need the Gift of Castoran Mastery, and this is the one that will cost you the most materials. To make it, you will need 4 items: Gift of Adventure, Gift of the Seas, a Bloodstone Shard, and 250 Obsidian Shards. We will start with the Gift of Adventure, and this is what you need for it. First, we will need 2 Vision Crystals. You can craft these from any crafting station that's at least level 500, and for that you will need some Ascended junk like Dragonite ore. You will also need Ogre Stone, which can be bought from any Mystic Forge vendor. The second component is 55 Mystic Clovers. There are tons of ways where you can get them that will save you a lot of gold while playing the game normally. Link for a more in-depth guide for the Mystic Clovers can be found in the description. However, the most basic method is by gambling in the Mystic Forge. Put together 1 Mystic Coin, 1 Globe of Ectoplasm, 1 Obsidian Shard, and 6 Philosopher Stones. The result will either be 1 Mystic Clover or other random materials including tier 6 materials. Third, you will need 100 Tales of Adventures. You get them as you do the expansion stories, but to save time, just buy them from the trading post. And the fourth component is 500 Unusual Coins. This is one of the currencies in your wallet, and you can only get it in the most recent expansion. And right now, this is the Visions of Eternity expansion. The fastest and most reliable way to get them is by doing the Magic Mirror farm in Shipwreck, Strand or Starlit Weald. However, you will most likely find yourself having enough of them as you farm the other currencies anyways. When you have all of these 4 components, you can buy the Gift of Adventure from any Heart vendor or any Quartermaster with a purple sword icon on the map, and you can find both of them besides each waypoint in both maps. Next, we work on Gift of the Seas, and this will also require 4 components. The first one is Gift of the Tides. This is the reward you will get when you finish Chapter 8, Pass of Divinity in the Visions of Eternity story. The second component is 2 Gifts of Research. For each one of them you will need 500 Hydrocatalytic Reagent, 250 Thermocatalytic Reagent, and then 250 Exotic Essence of Luck. The reagents can be bought from any of the vendors besides any of the crafting stations. Since we will need 2 Gifts of Research, we will need a total of 1000 Hydrocatalytic Reagent, and that will cost 5000 research notes. The most efficient way I recommend for that is crafting and salvaging cheap potent potions. For example, you will have something like the Center Slaying or the Undead. We will need to craft and salvage about 1670 potions, and don't forget to enable the auto salvage at the bottom and then just let it run. The other item you will need is 500 Exotic Essence of Luck. You can get them as a random drop by salvaging items, and you can also upgrade your blue and green Essence of Luck to Exotic, and that can be done at any Artificier even if it's at level 0. One of the easy ways to get luck is by opening unidentified bags and salvaging them, and then upgrade whatever luck you will get into Exotic. Link to a more in-depth guide about Essence of Luck can be found in the description. Once you have all the 4 components needed, go to the Mystic Forge and put together 250 Hydrocatalytic Agent, and then another 250, and then 250 Thermocatalytic Reagent and 250 Essence of Luck. This will give you 1 Gift of Research, and since we need 2 of them, use the refill option at the bottom. This will put the same items together again, and you can forge, which will give you the second Gift of Research. To craft Gift of the Seas, you need 2 Gifts of Condensed Magic and 2 Condensed Might. This means crafting 2 full sets of the Tier 6 component gifts. These are Gift of Blood, Gift of Bones, Gift of Clothes, and so on. Be careful and make sure you are crafting the exotic versions of the gifts, not the legendary ones. If you don't have the recipes for them yet, talk to any Mystic Forge vendor and you will find them in the second tab. Scroll all the way down and they will be one after another. And they are the orange orange exotic gifts. Each recipe will cost 10 gold, so that's about 80 gold just for the recipes. So before you waste your gold, hover on them and make sure you don't already own the recipe. There are other ways you can get the same gifts and it will save you some gold, but it will depend on the expansions you own. I explain that in details at the end of the guide. You can craft these gifts from any artificier or weaponsmith or a huntsman that is at least level 400. Just type in the search bar gift of and you should see all the recipes I just mentioned. Each one of these gifts require 50 of the tier 3 and tier 4 material, 250 of the tier 5 and 100 of the tier 6. And remember that we need 2 gifts of condensed magic and 2 gifts of condensed might, which means we need to craft 2 of each one of these exotic gifts. And so this will be one of the more expensive steps. Once you are done, go to the Mystic Forge and put together Gift of Blood with Gift of Dust and Venom and Totem. And this will produce Gift of Condensed Magic. Refill to do it one more time and you will get the second gift. Then put together Gift of Bones, Gift of Fangs and Claws and Scales, and this will produce Gift of Condensed Might. Then press Refill to get your second gift. Now we take all of the gifts we just crafted. So that will be Gift of Condensed Magic, Gift of Condensed Might, along with Gift of the Research and Gifts of the Tides. And talk to any heart vendor or quartermaster and buy Gift of the Seas. The last 2 components you need are 1 Bloodstone Shard, which you can buy from any Mystic Forge vendor, and 250 Obsidian Shards. And there are tons of ways to get this item, but the easiest is to buy it from the Karma vendor at Temple of Balthazar. However, the vendor will only show up if the temple is not contested. Link to a detailed guide on Obsidian Shards can be found in the description. Now all we need to do is put these things together in the Mystic Forge. So we put together Gift of Adventure, Gift of the Seas, 250 Obsidian Shards and 1 Bloodstone Shard. And this will give you Gift of Castoran Mastery, and it is the last thing we need. Now we go to the Mystic Forge and put everything together. So we put Gift of Castoran Mastery with Gift of the Survivors, with Gift of the People, and the Precursor Agaleus. And this will give us the Selachimorpha container. Now all we need to do is open it from our inventory and we will get 3 legendary Aquabreathers, 1 for each weight. So we get 1 for heavy armor, 1 for light armor, and another for medium. Now here are some tips to save some gold or if you made some sort of a mistake. If you deleted any of the account bound items by mistake, you can go to any heart vendor or quartermaster and from here you can buy any of the account bound items for 50 gold and 300,000 karma. You may also need to do that if you want to buy another copy to craft the new legendary spear and staff. Also, if you found yourself missing any of the crafting disciplines needed to craft any of the items, you can buy them from the Ward Crafter NPC, which is very close to the Moon Camp Waypoint. Once you talk to the NPC, you will see options like the Vision Crystal. From here is where you can also buy other components like Gift of Blood and Gift of Dust without requiring any recipe. You will pay extra globs of ectoplasms, but it will still be cheaper than buying the recipe for 10 gold each. You can only talk to this NPC if you have the Jansir Wilds expansion. However, if you don't have it, but you have the Secrets of the Obscure expansion, you can do the same thing from the NPC called Lear, and you can find him in the Wizard's Tower map. He will be right here in this area, and he will be behind the stairs. Just keep in mind that it will cost a little bit more from here than from the previous NPC. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out the upcoming guides for the legendary spear and staff, and if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. You will find timestamps and links to other related guides and resources in the description below, so check it out for plenty of additional information. Thank you very much and good luck on your legendary journey.